Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Code with Sunny, and in this video I will be talking about the one of the good problems of this lead code, valid number, index number is 65, and the problem is of one of the hard problems of the lead code. Okay, I don't know why there are very small amount of likes over this question and the dislikes is going to almost double to the number of likes. Okay, so this question has been asked in interviews like of Facebook. So we will be discussing what could be the best solution of this problem. Many people suggest different solutions in different scenarios. I will be talking about like a basic solution that every programmer is going to think on the very first click on his or her mind. Okay. So let us try to discuss this problem and we will find out what could be the best solution for this one. Okay. So a valid number can be split up into these components in order. Okay. A decimal number or an integer and this one. Okay. Okay. So before reading further into this detail, I have just noticed that while when I am was reading this problem, it is like very much confusing. Which integer is going to be like defined by this one or not, like a sign character is present or not, or at least one digit. Rather than going into this detail, I'm just going to mention each and every detail separately over some page, or you can also use some editor also. Like okay, so I'm just trying to mention each and every things in a detail in a ordered manner. Okay, so first we will try to understand this concept of valid number. Valid number is a decimal or an integer followed by this character small e or capital E, which is going to be followed by an integer. Okay, so you can easily see valid number is either a decimal or integer, or you can see there is an optional written over here. So valid number can be this one, only this one decimal or integer, or valid number can be decimal or integer plus this character being appended plus followed by an integer plus this an integer. So I'm just going to write this statements like broken these statements in a simplified way so that it becomes easier to code up and easier to understand also. When you are just whenever you are just going to understand the problem statement clearly, then only you can just code it up as fast as possible. So first thing while solving any problem should be like understanding the problem statement in the best possible way. All right, okay. So let us move further to understand this decimal number, or let us say I'm just going to just describe first integer. So integer is like optional character first would be present, either plus sign or minus sign, then at least one digit. Okay, so you can see integer is consist of at least one digit. That is the first character is optional. I'm just skipping the first character, either plus or minus, or consider the plus or minus character present at the very first digit plus appended by at least one digit. This is going to be like definition of the integer. And now I'm going to discuss for the decimal number. It is like a character either plus or minus. This is going to be like optional. So I've first taken this character plus the this decimal definition, and it is going to be like a dot present over here, and for every dot there should be like a character either present to the bif or character, it means I'm talking about the digits. Okay, so there is some digit present over the previous dot, that is the position of this dot before that. Okay, or after that like 4 point and 0.4 or like zero point 0.5, or you can also think for 0.55 or 5.5 or like 0.4 or like zero point 0.4 or zero point 0.3 also, or 4 point also. These are the valid decimals ones. Okay, and you can also have a definition of decimal like eliminating the very first character either plus or minus and considering this one. So if you're going to understand this definition, then it becomes very much easier. So we have to check whether my integer is going to be like valid or not. You can easily see if I will have this 0, it means that there is not a single e, small e or capital E present over there. Then my number lies in this category. Now I have to check whether this 0 is going to be like a decimal or integer. So first I will try to check whether it is an integer or not. So condition of an integer is like check whether there is an optional character present or not. You can easily see there is not a plus or minus. So it lies in this category, at least one digit. So you can easily see there is at least one digit character present over here. So I'm going to return true. Yes, it is a valid number. Let's talk about this small e. Okay, so this small e is going to be like a valid number or not, numerical string or not. So what is my condition of this valid number? Check a decimal number or integer is present or not. So I will first try to check whether it lies in this category or this category. That is, I'm just numbering it out. So it is going to be like this is the first category or this is the second category. Whether my number, valid number, is going to lie in the first category or second category. So you can easily see there is an E present over here. So it lies in the second category. Now I need to check there must exist, because you can easily see if and this is optional condition holds, it must be followed by an integer. That is, E must be followed by an integer. So you can easily see there is not an integer present over here and also not a decimal string before that E. So I'm going to return false. And similarly, a single dot, it is going to lie in this category. So it must be either decimal or integer. So you can easily see there is not this character dot is not going to lie in this integer category. So I must check for this decimal, and you can easily see the valid decimals are like of these type 4 dot 0.4 or dot 5. You can easily see there is only a single dot, not a digit after that dot, not this before that dot. So I'm going to return false, and again this is going to be a valid number. And you can easily see strings length is going to like 20. Okay, so let us try to understand this entire scenario directly to the coding part, because the code is going to be like very much simple, but it consists of many corner cases that should be understood very well. Okay, so let's move further. All right. So I'm just okay. So let me just show it out. What are the difficulties I have just faced? Okay. So you can first have gotten some wrong answers, like around 1 to 1 test cases are passed. Then I will just submitted another code. Then it goes passed on 1483 and 5 test cases got failed. Then I again submitted this code and it got passed. But my runtime is not good, 4 ms. Then I tried to improve that. Finally, I've got the 0 ms per second code, which is going to be like faster than all the 100% of CPP submissions. You can easily see runtime is 0 ms and faster than 100% of CPP submissions. Okay, so I'm just talking about this one. So I'm just trying to understand this first. Okay, so whenever I have to check some integer, let us try to write that code first. If a string is going to be empty, I should have to return false. That is, integer is not possible. At least one digit should be present there according to the definition. If you focus on the definition, or you let us look over this, at least one digit, at least one digit. Okay, so let me close down all these tabs. So okay, if my first note that first character is optional, if it is plus sign or minus sign. So if my first character is plus or minus, I will just say yes, it is okay. So I must have to check for the remaining digits, like I will suppose I have the characters like okay, plus 2233, or it is like 2233. Okay, so if I have this plus sign, I will just take a substring starting from this position 1 if I am considering 0 based indexing. So my string would become 2223. I think, yeah, this is. So whenever I will find an optional character at the very first position, I will take a substring, so that I have to check only this integer part, at least one digit that should be present after this optional character. I will take the substring, and then again I will trying to check if there exists at least one digit or not. So I'm going to check this one. If that is, whenever I found this condition hold, that is the character lies between 0 and 9, yes, it is okay, otherwise return false, because the digit is not present. Because sometimes it may happen that we have the character like this. Now consider this, the optional character is present at the very beginning, and if I will try to take a substring, this will be deleted, but still it consists of at least one digit. But you can easily see there is a plus sign over there also. This is not a valid integer. Okay, so I'm just going to skip that, return false. And finally I will check return s.empty, because sometimes if you take the substring like this one, there might exist some character like only this plus sign, only that. Then if you take the substring and that is eliminate this plus, so I have this empty substring that is starting from 1, position 1. I will have this empty substring, and this entire for loop is going to return yes, it is okay, but it should not be like that. We have to check for at least one digit. So I'm going to check return, this is not empty. Okay, so this is going to be like a complete integer function that is going to check whether it is an integer or not. Okay, now comes the lies the very tricky part, like is decimal function. Okay, so I have to check whether it is going to be like decimal or not. The condition is going to be same. strings empty, return false, and if it is plus or minus, take the substring. Otherwise, find the position of the decimal, that is a dot, okay, or you can also have period, I think, yes, position of this dot, okay. So I will count this dot first, okay. If this count is going to be like 1, that is you must take care for the integers, like if you found this dot like plus to 2.3, again this point 2. Now this is not a decimal after this plus sign, so you must take care of that. So I must count this one, that is count total number of dot present over here, and if count is going to belong 1, then I will find the position. This ind variable is going to find the position of this dot, okay. And whenever you find the position of this dot, you must take care that there exists at least one digit before this dot and after this dot, and that uh, all that numerical characters should be like digit form, like it should not be like that, okay. So I'm just going to explain. Suppose we have this 1 3 3 6. Now you can easily see if there is a dot present over here at the position 2, there are digits present before that dot and there are digits present after that dot, that is 336. But consider this case like 22.33 plus 6. This is not going to be a valid decimal number because there is a dot present over here. And if you consider them characters after that dot, there is just a plus sign which is not going to be valid. Okay, I must not consider that, alright? Okay, so let's move further. So after finding this position of this dot, I will check the all the characters should be like a digits before that position and after that position. And if there exists a violating condition, I will return false. It is not possible to being a decimal number. Okay. So after doing that, we must ensure that the string's length should be greater than 1. Because if you find the position of this dot like this one, only a single dot, and if you check there should exist at least one digit that after that dot, before that dot, then there might be condition like you can easily see these for loops will return true in this case, but you must ensure that according to the definition of this decimal, at least one digit, at least one digit, at least one digit. But here you can see there are no digits. So you must ensure that string's length should be greater than 1. And if this all holds true, return true. That is, it will automatically return true if string's length is greater than 1. Otherwise, return false. So these are the two conditions for checking the integer and checking the decimal. Now comes lies the huge part, is number, that is valid or not. Now the operations are going to be like very simple. It is like a brute force approach. So find out the count of this small e. It might be present that we have this count of small e like okay, I'm just trying 23 e and 22. It might be present like that, but this is not valid. So there must be count should be like exactly 1. So if count is going to be greater than 1, return false. Otherwise, if there exists some count, what I'm going to do is just check out if there exists a decimal, that is if there exists an integer after that e. Okay, so how I'm going to do that, find the position of this e and check that if there exists an integer or not after that position by taking the substring after that ind variable, that is index plus 1. And if there doesn't exist integer, this function will return true, if else, that is if part will return true, and I'm going to return false, that is there doesn't exist a valid number. Otherwise, take that substring s equals s dot substring for ind length. Okay, and the reason is going to be very much simple because after that checking condition holds, that is after the position of this e, if all the digits, all the characters are going to be like integer, I must check that before that position of e, that should be decimal one, like this one, a decimal number or an integer. Then I will, after taking that substring, in this case like if count is going to be 1, I will return is integer or is decimal. That is going to return the appropriate boolean result. Okay, so the condition, do whatever as being asked in this problem and you will get the AC verdict. Okay, so if you have any doubts, do not forget to mention in the comment section of the video, and I will ask the viewers to like this video, share this video, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you for watching this video.